Rich describes at least 10 completely different games, each with its own rules for entry, survival, and exit. A monarch sitting on a sovereign wealth fund and a 25-year-old holding a lucky crypto token both technically qualify as wealthy, yet the mechanics of their money have almost nothing in common. Some fortunes require 5 generations to build, while others assemble in 5 months. A sovereign fund might hide behind national laws to remain entirely invisible, while a digital windfall can evaporate during a single bad afternoon. We're breaking down what actually makes these archetypes distinct and identifying which specific games are built to last. Old money is wealth that has been passed down so many times the original earner has nearly disappeared from memory, replaced by the family name itself. These families rely on fortunes that nobody alive today watched anyone actually earn. These dynasties often prioritize posture over the size of the fortune. They frequently treat visible spending as a liability, choosing instead to anchor their capital in assets that hold value across decades: land, fine art, and family offices managing money for descendants who aren't even born yet. Trillions of dollars are currently moving from aging holders to their heirs, in the largest generational wealth transfer in history. Old money is currently multiplying, not shrinking. New money represents the opposite strategy: fortunes built entirely within a single lifetime by founders who started with no inheritance. Globally, this group accounts for roughly 2/3 of all billionaires. Geography dictates the wealth you see. In the US, 73% of billionaires are self-made. In China and Russia, it hits 97%. Germany is the outlier. Only a quarter built their own fortune, leaving the rest to inherited dynasties. The loud spending often associated with new money is a structural reaction to the sudden acquisition of capital. The mansion and the jet frequently show up early as the natural result of having money after a lifetime of not having any. Tech and AI founders represent the fastest-moving wealth machine in history. A generation ago, founders took years to build what previous industries took decades to assemble. Today, that timeline has compressed even further. Artificial intelligence created 45 new billionaires in a single 12-month stretch. While some built the labs, others became wealthy building the unglamorous infrastructure underneath: chips and data labeling. Employees are now securing tens of millions by cashing out early equity before their companies even go public. Even in this sector, the rules vary. The CEO of one of the world's most valuable AI companies draws a salary of $76,000 and owns no equity in the firm. His wealth stems almost entirely from outside bets made on the side. Real estate offers the exact opposite pace. This remains one of the oldest, slowest-burning paths to extreme wealth, consistently ranking alongside finance for creating the world's ultra-wealthy. Real estate wealth relies on extreme patience, because land is one of the only assets on Earth that cannot be duplicated. These investors often spend 30 years letting rental income compound before the fortune looks impressive to the outside world. The sovereign rich control massive, often invisible fortunes. This category includes monarchs and ruling families tied to oil and gas-rich nations, sitting on capital that blurs the line between personal wealth and national treasury. This wealth uniquely tangles family control with state-owned companies and national oil revenue. Palaces and personal investments often merge with government-run investment funds. Because this wealth is structurally fused with the state, these individuals rarely appear on richest people lists, despite frequently outranking the standard billionaires who do. Celebrity wealth arrives in sudden, enormous bursts. A hit album or a viral year can generate more capital in months than most careers generate in decades. The difference between celebrities who go broke and those who build lasting wealth is the conversion of fame into a tangible business. Beauty or fashion brands built on a recognizable name often become more valuable than the entertainment career that created the audience. Athletes face a structural challenge unique to their game: a 10 to 15-year prime window to earn a lifetime's worth of fortune. Survival in this category requires treating massive playing contracts as a starting salary rather than a destination. Successful athletes use their checks to build separate media companies or ownership stakes while they are still playing. In both fame-based games, the initial windfall only survives if the spotlight is immediately converted into an independent enterprise before the window closes. The investor rich build positions rather than products. Warren Buffett represents the textbook case, a man who never invented anything but grew extraordinarily wealthy by recognizing good businesses and refusing to sell them for 50 years. Crypto-rich investors operate on the opposite end of the volatility scale. Many with no financial background bought digital assets for a few $100s and held through massive swings to watch them multiply thousands of times over. Crypto demonstrates speed in both directions. Fortunes that took decades to build in real estate have been assembled here in months, and in many cases, lost just as fast. The inheritor differs from old money dynasties because of the sudden, unpracticed nature of their windfall. A single transfer, like a parent's estate, often changes everything without any prior preparation. Many inheritors lose the majority of their wealth within a few years. Managing sudden wealth is a distinct skill that does not automatically arrive with the money itself. The most common type of millionaire is actually the most invisible. Data from the largest study of its kind shows that their wealth comes from unglamorous consistency, quietly maxing out retirement accounts every year for several decades, until the balance reaches a number most people would never guess. Comparing these strategies reveals a clear pattern. The most boring structures, the patience of old money, the decades of quiet compounding, consistently survive the longest. The most exciting wealth structures, like crypto windfalls and celebrity moments, are also the most likely to disappear just as fast as they arrived. Survival depends on recognizing which of these 10 games you are actually playing. Each one carries distinct odds, completely different timelines, and totally different rules for staying on the board once you get inside.